Good morning, everyone. My name is Karla, and you have reached my FlossTube channel, KarlaBeingCrafty, where I talk about mostly cross stitch, but also other crafts that I enjoy and a little bit of life thrown in. Today is Sunday. It is October 15th, and it's FlossTube number 211. Is that right? 211? Yeah, 211. That's right. So I want to say welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. If this is your first time finding my channel, I hope you like what you see. Want to hit like, subscribe, all of the good FlossTube stuff that helps, put my channel before other viewers to help grow my channel. And if you really like what you see, I do have a super thanks button below. You could also send monetary tips through PayPal if that is better for you. I have my my email is linked below, and that's what you would need to do that. And if this is not your first time finding my channel, if you are one of the viewers that stops by every week, thank you so much, you guys. I think I probably have put in the title, friends this week have been super, super, super important to me, kind of helped keep me sane and, helped reduce stress, all that kind of thing. So you guys are counted among that group. I have a kitty at my feet. Come here, Baggy. Oh, every time I start doing a video, and he has to be right here, at least for a minute or two, and then he gets bored and he goes and he takes a nap. This is Bagheera, for those of you who are new finding my channel. He makes an appearance, I would say at least 50% of the time, maybe a little bit more. He's my kitty love. Okay, so welcome. I said that. I mean it. And let's get into it. I always give you guys kind of like a Southern California weather report. I give up. It is still summer here. I was fooling myself into thinking that it was fall. It is not fall. Fall weather, it does not go into the 90s on a regular basis. And basically, we are going to be in the high 80s, 90s for at least another week to 10 days. The only concession to fall is that it is getting cooler at night. It is not staying in the 70s at night. It's going down to the low 60s. So in my mind, it's fall. In my mind, I want to start wearing, sweaters and things. But no, I put on a long sleeve t-shirt today when I was getting ready for the video, and I was dying. It's like, it's not fall. It's going to be 91 degrees here today. So it's not fall. When I used to live in house with my family in Huntington Beach, it's like, it started to get to be fall weather, and I would want to put on the fire, not for warmth, but just for ambience. And this would be the kind of weather where I'd be wanting a fire, and you'd have to be wearing a bikini to sit in a room with the fire on, because mentally, yeah, I want it to be fall. I want it to be crisp. It isn't. It's still hot and sweaty and gross. So that is my whine about the weather. But yeah, it's still summer. It's going to be summer here probably until it decides to be winter. Maybe it will never be winter and it'll just go from summer to spring. I don't know. But yeah, I'm fed up with it. One thing I wanted to mention before I forget, because I forgot last week, I didn't tell you guys that I had a Zoom scheduled. I mean, I did put it in the description box, so if any of you do look at that, maybe you saw it, but I do have a Zoom scheduled for October 29th, so we can have kind of a little pre-Halloween, Stitchy get-together. So that's a Sunday, the 29th at 3 o'clock Pacific time, so that would be 6 o'clock Eastern time. I figured that was a good time. It's before dinner here on the West Coast. It's maybe after an early dinner on the East Coast. Yeah, so I figured that was a good time to, and as far as what it is across the seas, I don't know. And I'm sorry if it's inconvenient, but that is when I scheduled it. So October 29th. So hopefully you guys can join me. And we can have some fun stitching together as we usually do. So this week, friends were as I said, my lifeline, my lifesaver, I guess. The candy, it's a lifesaver, it's round, yes. People throw it in the water. Last Sunday, I had lunch with Julie from Stitching at the Cabin. You know, we get together and it's like, what could you possibly talk about for 5 hours? But we did. We sat there, we talked for 5 hours. She so kindly like treated me to lunch and a kitchen sink cookie. I mean, what could be better than that? And I was good. I brought the cookie home. I didn't eat the whole cookie that night. I had it for 2 days. So, you know, normally I like can inhale those things, but I was a good girl. But yeah, we sat there and we talked at Panera for 5 hours. It was so fun. It's so nice to be able to just connect with a friend and just talk about important things and stupid things and to be frank, to complain about people and things that we can't complain about to anyone else. Did my light just go out? That's weird. Yeah. All right. So either my light just broke or it unplugged. I don't know. I'm sorry if it all of a sudden got a little darker. So yeah, I mean, we were together for 5 hours. It was fantastic. I have so much fun stitching with her. Now, she mentioned in her video that she did this week, that if anybody wanted to join us who lives in this area, let us know, because you totally would be welcome to join. I mean, we don't get together on a regular basis. And it's kind of like, we don't always know super far in advance, because a lot of us getting together is just dependent on, her schedule that weekend, as far as whether or not she and her husband are going up to their cabin. You know, her title is Stitching at the Cabin. They go to their cabin pretty much every weekend, but not every weekend. And it depends on when they're coming back, because she did go to the cabin this weekend, but she was back like Sunday morning. So she can meet me Sunday afternoon very easily. We don't live right next door to each other. We live about 40 minutes away. So we both kind of drive to meet in the middle. At a Panera. And yeah, so if anybody lives in this area and wants to get together at one of these times, let us know. We'll be happy to expand the circle. So that was on Sunday. Then on Tuesday, I got to go out to dinner with my friend Lori, who moved to Illinois several years ago with her husband. And for the reason that everybody seems to be leaving California, they wanted to get a house, and there was no way they would get a house in California, so they moved to Illinois, which is where he's from anyway. So they're close to family and stuff. But yeah, so I haven't seen her in person in way too long. Now I have seen her online on Zooms and stuff like that, which is funny, because it's like, thank goodness that we learned about, like, I learned about Zooms and that, because it does help keep people close. You know, I mean, I haven't seen her in a long time, but I feel like I have, because I've seen her on Zoom. So, although I've missed her desperately and I miss going out and doing stuff with her, that's the big thing. At least I have seen her and been able to talk to her and everything. But we got to actually go out together, which was just so wonderful. Lori's been talking about when we get together. I mean, she's been saying this for years, that when we got together, we had to go to Olive Garden, because she really likes Olive Garden. We've always kind of gone to Olive Garden. I mean, not by plan, but it just kind of has worked out that way for like birthdays and stuff like that. I met Lori when I was about 20. We both have birthdays in August, so a lot of times I met her through theater. A lot of times we kind of like go out and have a girls only birthday celebration together, and oftentimes that was at Olive Garden over the many years that we've known each other. So she was always joking like we have to go to Olive Garden, because she always has loved Olive Garden and her husband doesn't like it, and he's Mr. Picky Pants. So you know, it's better to not go there when he's gonna not enjoy it. So anyway, when she came out, we ended up thinking that we weren't going to go to Olive Garden, because the Olive Garden is like too far. And then it turned out that my friend at work kind of mentioned, oh, there's an Olive Garden in the Brea Mall, which is, you know, 10 minutes from my work, and we were meeting kind of at my work. So we ended up going to the Olive Garden. So it was great. We had a wonderful catch up. It was just so nice to spend time with her, and that was really something important. And then my other friends, Tracy and Jason. I talk about Tracy all the time. She's been my friend since we were like, what, 15 years old, I think. So they have so kindly helped me kind of work through some of my financial problems that I touched on last week. And so they're just helping me out with that. And I mean, that's an invaluable help. So I can't say thank you enough. You know, I mean, Tracy and I consider, I think, each other sisters by choice. And, you know, I'm glad that over the years we've been able to be there for each other emotionally and stuff like that. This time they're there for me in a different way, but I'm glad that I have them in my life, even without that. So anyway, friends were really important to me this week, and having you guys in my life and getting messages and stuff from my channel, those are all of the things that help, you know, when life gets tough. This week has been hard. The political climate in the Middle East, I mean, that's just horrific and heartbreaking, and I don't want to talk, you know, in depth. I mean, if you guys have watched the news or read the news, you know what's going on over there. Different people have different opinions. I'm not going to get into that. I do have extended family in Israel. Thankfully, they're all safe. I don't have any close family that I'm personally close with, but I do have extended family, and my family has good friends there. Luckily, nobody that any of the people that I know and love and care about have been hurt, but that doesn't take away from the horrificness of what's going on there and the somewhat horrific responses that some places are having around the world. And it's very scary. It's very scary to be who I am at this time in the world. Anyway, enough on that. Okay, so I think that's it as far as preamble and stuff like that. As far as my crafting this week, I just did cross stitch. There was no crochet, there was no paper crafting. I just, you know, I only had so much bandwidth to deal with this week, and so I stitched, and you know, I did get quite a bit done, so that's good. It always makes me feel good when I'm accomplishing things in the cross stitch world. So let me show you the whips. I feel like I'm talking really fast today, but oh well. Okay, so Sunday I was meeting with Julie, so I brought Prickly Owl with me because it's the project that we're kind of like working on together. I didn't work on it while I was with her, which is not surprising because of the four, I think we've gotten together 4 times now. I've only stitched 1 time, and it was pretty much before she got there. It's too much fun talking, so I don't stitch. But Prickly Owl is a little dimensions kit. And oops. When I got home that night, then I stitched on it a little bit since I already was intending to stitch on it that day. I didn't get a lot done. I just started working on this cactus. What is this? Oh. Random floss. So, yeah, not a lot done on that one, but that's okay. I am very much, when I'm stitching, it's kind of like what project is calling to me that day. I do have a wheel. My wheel is more of like, I think, an inspiration or a mental stimulation sort of wheel. I like to put the projects that I kind of have as my focus that month on the wheel. And those projects are the ones that I put more in my close proximity because I have a lot more projects here that I can't get at when I'm stitching easily. So if it's in my close proximity, you know, if it's on the wheel, then those are the ones I'm most likely to go to, but they're not like the only ones that I can stitch. And if I feel like stitching something else, I will. But yeah, I'm like, I know some people have the wheel they spin. That is what they stitch. I'm not like that. I argue with my wheel. I ignore my wheel. Sometimes I don't use it and I just stitch what's calling to me. That's just how I do it. Okay. The next thing I worked on was Phoenix Queen this week. I was definitely feeling like I and the world and everybody was needing some healing, mental healing, physical healing, everything. So I thought that stitching on Phoenix Queen, which is what I'm considering my Mishaberach piece, would be a good thing to do. Mishaberach is the prayer for healing and mental and emotional and physical healing. And I think about that when I stitch on it. It was originally started in honor of Julie, Stitching at the Cabin's mom, who's going through some chemo right now and having to deal with all of that. Michigas. So this was inspired by that, but really, you know, it's in honor of her, but it's in honor of everybody who needs healing. And when I stitch on this, I think about that, and I'm, you know, giving my prayers out for healing, for whoever needs it. So I got actually quite a bit done on this, but still doesn't really look like anything. I mean, I think the colors are fantastic. I'm hoping that you guys can actually see the play of colors. I know, and I've said this before, when I look at this on my TV, when I look at it in the camera, it looks fantastic. When I look at it on the computer, it's fine. When I look at it on my TV, this turns kind of a really kind of yellowy color, and it is just not as pretty and rich as it is in real life. So I don't know what you're seeing. I guess it depends on your device. But I really do like the play of colors. And all of these big sections, as I said, in the last time I showed this, are all going to be beads. So there's a lot of beads on this. I was looking for some lenses this week and did not put them away. Okay, I pulled out my Bewitching Pixie that I'm working on right now, which is a Zinnia, or Xenia. This is a Nora Corbett. And because I'm doing it on a backgrounds fabric from Fabric Flair, which is what all of my Bewitching Pixies have been and will be stitched on, I'm not doing like the arch, so it's just her with her little cocktail. And I started this one at the bottom because of placement. That was the easiest way to get her in the place I needed her to be. I added the owl from another pattern that isn't going to get stitched with that pixie because of again being on a backgrounds fabric. So that's the whole fabric. You can see the gates with the moon. And then that's how much I got done. So I worked a lot over here. So I think the reds are really gonna pop on this gray. I think it's gonna look really nice. I got a little bit of a hankering to work on my Chatelaine this week. I wanted to make some progress on it. And I was able to finish doing at least the black outline of all of these little kind of Russian onions. So that was good. That was kind of an endless little bit of this project. So I got all of those black ones done, and then I started on the blue just a little bit. I mean, I had these 3 finished already. So I think I'm going to fill in all of the blue next and then move on to something else. So when I did like the middle part, I did it corner by corner. So I finished, like I completed a corner and then moved on to the next corner, and then I like completed one of these and moved on to the next one. So like I didn't do everything in the round like this, but I'm gonna do this whole section like in the round and then go and tackle each corner again. So I'll be like doing the same thing 4 times, but I don't know, that just makes sense to me to do it that way. Oh God, my hair keeps getting caught in my armpit. So that was fun this week. I'm glad that I got that little bit completed, because that was sort of like the unfun thing that I felt like I needed to do, but I got it done. Okay, then the final 2 projects that I worked on, I put in quite a bit of stitching on Bellatrix. This is a Bella Filipina. She's so beautiful and very, very big. It doesn't seem that big when you like start the project, and then you get into it and you're like, oh my God, I'm stitching on this forever. And this dress is not getting smaller. It's not 100% true, but that's how far I am totally. Oh, let me move my cute needle minder. Right. Okay, sorry about that. All right, so that's where she is totally. And then what I worked on this week was the dress. And actually I did a big like chunk in here. So like I think that the dress was up like here before. So all of this stuff was done. It seemed like I mean, I worked on it for a long time and I feel like I got a lot done, but then it's still, this dress comes like down like this. So there's like huge chunk of dress still, and that's just the dress. I still have to do the corners and the borders, but it's okay. And the book stand, and yeah. So there's quite a bit left to do on this one. But you know, every time I bring her out, her face is just so pretty. Look at that. She's just so pretty. So, yeah. So I'm holding things because I want to have a good picture. I finally learned, after 4 years of doing FlossTube or whatever, I finally learned how to actually add a thumbnail, as opposed to just taking the ones that YouTube gives you, which sometimes are fine. I tend to like ones that are going to show one of my projects, so I finally learned that I can go through and take screen captures from the video and try and do a screen capture that doesn't have me having a goofy face, like, you know, and have one that I'm smiling or making a decent face and showing one of my patterns. So yeah, it usually takes like 20 pictures to find one 20 screen captures to find one that's decent. And then last but not least, I did work on Gwen Place's All Hallows Eve. Again, I started this in 2019, so it's one of my oldest projects. And let's see. There's full view. This is on Picture This Plus Jewel. which is beautiful and so floppy. It's a floppy, floppy Aida. And I worked on my little Count vampire. I got his face done. I've changed the colors on this. His skin in the chart is skin color. I changed him to be very gray and dead looking because he's a vampire. And then I added sparkly, it's actually light effects, DMC light effects, which is horrible to work with, but when I started this pattern and I pulled flosses, I had no idea. So I think it's really pretty. I actually, when I showed it to you last week, I had the sparkly just done in one of the collar sides here, and I was like, I didn't think it looked great, and I can't figure out why. And it was because I have two red sparklies because there's like a kind of an accent, a darker accent shadow color, and I used the wrong one. So I had to pull that out and put the bright red in, that you can see a little bit of the darker one in the middle of the tie. Or maybe you can't because my light is out. Yeah. But I think he's looking pretty darn stinking cute. And I like to backstitch as I go, which if you watch my channel, you probably realize, because, you know, it makes everything come to life. And I don't want to leave the backstitching to the very end. That's not fun for me. Okay. So that is all my projects for this week. So yeah, I think I got, you know, I got a good chunk of stuff done, which is nice. I have a few, well, two gifty things to show you that I was very, very excited to get this week. So this is actually from a friend at work. We have a girl, she's like an intern in our office. She's not really an intern. She decided she wanted to learn insurance stuff. So she comes in like once a week, and I'm making her a book. And so I've showed her like the books that I work on. So she knows that I use like coloring pages in my books. And she's like, oh, I have this coloring book that I just colored like a couple pages and I'm really not using it. Let me bring it to you. So it's this coloring book. And I mean, there's a couple, you know, colored things in here that she colored, but it's mostly unused. And it's got just lovely drawings. And I'm pretty sure I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna use these pages. You know, a lot of it is like directly from the original. Yeah. I'm just gonna use these drawings. Probably is coloring pages in my books. Nice. Look at all the roses, and there's the Cheshire cat. So yeah, and I think I'm gonna actually, there was one picture that she had colored, and I think I'm gonna actually cut that out and put it in her book so that she doesn't lose her work, because I thought that would be kind of cool. I don't know where it is, I have to find it, but you know. Anyway, so these pages are pretty cool. And I think I will be putting some of them in my little golem books. And then the other thing that I got, this was from Julie. So it's funny, it's like we, not always, but it's like we tend to just like bring each other stuff that we've been holding. Like we do, Julie and I do trade county canvas projects. So when we finish one, we give the other person the pattern. Although right now we're both working on the same one, so there's going to be nothing to trade for a while. But I decided to give her the Christmas ornament magazine that I got, because, you know, I'm not going to use it and she may, so that was good. And then she brought me this, which I was completely not expecting. So she and her daughter Alyssa have both gotten kind of into this stamped felt. It says stamped felt is what the project is, but it's basically you cut out the felt pieces and you stitch them together and you add a lot of sequins and stuff. And she got me this package, this kit of all these little cat ornaments, black cat ornaments, because she loves Baggy too. And so cute. And she's like, you don't have to do it. If you don't want to do them, you don't have to do them. I'm like, you know, because when she first mentioned something to me, she's like, oh, do you want? And I was like, no new projects, you know. And she kind of laughed and she got it for me anyway. She's like, but you don't have to do it. Well, of course I'm going to try it out, but I think I might wait and try it out in August next year for my Black Cat birthday style. I might pick one and try out this project. I mean, it certainly doesn't look difficult. It's just, you know, I kind of feel like all of this stuff is, it's not the same thing, but it's like, you know, it's all in the same family. It's thread and floss and fibers and materials, and you use needles to put everything together and add sparkle. And yeah, so the difficult thing is going to be when I decide to go ahead and try one is which one should I do first, because every time I look at it I think, oh, that one's my favorite, and then I'm like, no, that one's my favorite. Like, I love the little cat bat, and I love this one, but I also like this one, and I also like this one, and I also like these two. So I don't know which one I should do. So vote. Which one do you guys think? Which one do you like best? Like, I mean, obviously, I need to start with one and see if I like it. Because I don't think I'm going to sit down and do all like 6 in one shot. You know, I probably will do one this August, and then maybe next October I'll want to do another one. And, you know. So anyway, what do you guys think? What would be a good first one to try? Maybe this one? I don't know. But anyway, so this was so sweet of Julie to give me this. It's always exciting to have new things. And so I'm kind of thinking this year, you know, for I have like my 2, actually 3 typical styles that I do. So projects that I, you know, start each year. I do a Black Cat birthday style in August. I do a lion project of some kind in August. And then I do a bee in February. And I'm thinking this year, maybe for my Be My Own Valentine style, instead of doing another cross stitch, which I could, I'm thinking of maybe making this little kit. This is a Clart by Pana, I guess. It's an embroidery kit, actually. And it's this little, I've had this for quite a while. It's this little bee. Using, it's probably turkey stitch. Oh, no, it says velvet stitch. Velvet stitch. So that could be fun. But I have to figure out what do I want to do this on, because I actually think this would look really good to do it on a piece of clothing. You know, or to do it and then, you know, maybe applicate it to a piece of clothing. Like to a little jacket collar or something. Wouldn't that be cute? I don't know. But anyway, so I'm thinking about doing this for my Be My Own Valentine style, or do this and maybe something else, depending on how long this would take, because maybe this wouldn't be that long of a project. I mean, the floss that's included is not very much, so I don't think it would take very long, but it's just a matter of learning it. So that's what I'm thinking about doing in February. I don't think I have any other little bee things. Or I could do it and then mount it on this little thing, just like right in the middle, and hang it. That would be really cute too. So, okay. Ideas. All right. So those are the 2 stash acquisitions that I got, gifts from friends. Plans as far as going forward, I'm enjoying working on the projects I'm working on, that I've worked on this past week. I kind of had the itch to start like a new like Halloween-y type thing. So I don't know, I might. I mean, I keep going back and forth. Like one day I'll really want to, and then the next day I don't. So, you know, I'm very mercurial. So I might start a new Halloween type project, or I might not. We'll see. I have several different things that I could start. I don't know if I feel like kitting something up. So I have to see if I have kits, which I do. I actually have a Mill Hill Wanda Swans that would very much fit the Halloween-y theme, but I don't know if that's what I'm feeling. So we'll see. Today specifically, I'm hoping that my video will upload quickly so that I can film a couple cooking videos. I wasn't able to do that last weekend. basically because I went out to lunch with Julie, and YouTube was super slow last week. I thought it was going to be super fast. You know, I got done really early and I thought, oh, it'll just upload. No, it didn't. It like didn't even finish before I had to leave, and then I had to come back and finish it. So it was really slow last weekend. However, the weekend before it was super quick. So I don't know. I really don't know what the rhyme or reason of it is. And when it's quick, then I have access to my phone. But when it's uploading, I really don't feel like I can film anything else. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. You know, it's not like I can't film on when I get home from work during the week. It's just whether or not I want to. So I do have a pumpkin pasta. I think I've talked about this before, but I have a pumpkin pasta that I'm really excited to try out. So I would like to film that. And then I still haven't made my pumpkin cake that I've been talking about for several weeks. So if all goes well, then I might be actually to do two filmings this week, which will have extra videos for 2 weeks in the can, kind of thing. So yeah, so that's what I'm planning to do this afternoon, if at all possible, and then hopefully do some organizing in my kitchen while I'm doing all that. I don't know. I start out feeling really ambitious, and then I feel like all I want to do is sit around on the couch. So I guess it just depends on how I feel. So yeah, I think that's about it for this week. I hope you guys are all having a great week and are having peace and calm and joy in your life. I give my prayers out to everyone who is suffering during this very difficult, horrendous time in the Middle East. And yeah, so thoughts and prayers, you know, which means very little, I guess, but I'm thinking about it. So anyway, I hope you guys all have a wonderful week, stitching week, crafting week, just being with people who bring you joy week, and that includes fur people. And until I see you guys again, please remember to be content, be kind, and be crafty. This is Karla. Bye-bye.